Okay, so yeah, I just connected to Campbell because already observed on Terry. So I'll show you two things. Some chemistry, so I'll show you how to do chemistry and I'll show how to do plumbing. So yeah, first time connecting to Campbell. No, I've never been here. So my settings are a bit fucked. But anyways, and yeah, fuck this music. Yeah. Usually play just whatever. Actually. Yeah. Should be good enough. So, anyways. You get some beakers, right? So you get a chemistry bag from the vendor here. There's only two, and you can make spare ones on the. Jesus fucking Christ, man! What are the fucking odds? So doesn't matter too much because we've got this baby. So I'll show you a classical N2O factory of mine. So this is my design. So in the past this was kind of a solved thing. Now it's less so. So in the past you'd actually make these horizontal because these reaction chambers and everything basically spawned horizontally, like with the inputs and the outputs fixed, right? So the inputs are actually the right ones. The red ones, sorry, the red tubes, and then the outputs are the blue tubes. Right, so we've got our mixers, then we've got our chemical heaters for the first three. Like that, and then we'll do the next ones. But basically we are... Oh yeah, lovely, can't even interact with them because the power's fucked. Yeah, what are my odds, man? Can I fix this? Yeah, I can just do it upstairs, right? Up above, or is... Yeah, okay. Good enough. So I'm actually playing on a shitty laptop instead of my normal rig. Anyways, so we're making chems. Normally I have these up. So we make ammonia, and then we make... So you open all three at once, right? So you don't waste time, like this. So lovely, no power. So this is actually not the most optimal way. You should kind of like change these up, right? So the inputs work a bit faster. And now the thing is also with everything chemistry related and a lot of med-based shit things, and actually a lot of things in game, it just depends on how much you want to be bothered, right? So this is an N2O factory. This is probably the best thing that you can get out of the one reaction chamber, because you can only put 200 units maximum in it. Like you can only mix 200 units at most maximum. So yeah, get a common denominator and you'll get a bit more. But then everything really has to go, and yeah. So first chambers. Normally I didn't do these, so I'm gonna put it like this. This should work. This should work. I've had to do it on 3 sometimes because this thing tended to explode on 4, but that really makes no sense. I think it's like bugged with this new Fermi chem bullshit. Yeah, okay, I'm really not in the mood for this kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, okay. Go to Eva. Yeah, so I got a wire cut to APC. Or I just get a jetpack. That actually also works. Whoops. Yeah, so I'm horribly slow here on this computer. So basically, firstly we heat up our chems, and then secondly we get them into the ignition range, which is 565. Because it ignites at 575, right? So, and the ignition adds 10 to the mix. So by this it'll actually start emptying at 565. So now you know. Then we need some shit to store it in, right? So this is 400 units, and we'll get a bit more in the making, but basically you want 400 units, right? Now it just depends on the rounds and what you expect, but usually I go with one row, but hey. Now this is actually bugged, so I'll show you how I used to do it, and then how somebody showed me a slight improvement. I'm actually not a big fan of it, but hey. So we need a bit more metal. But not too much. So basically I just put I'll actually make this mix already. If you need metal, this is also metal, right? So you can actually put those stacks into I don't know what that guy is doing, but so you only need 3 chems. Now lastly we just need our output, and I get the bottlers. Why the bottlers? Because I actually dispense up to 100 units at the same time. And I'll show you what's actually bugged with them and how it should work. What am I doing, man? So this will start mixing, as you can see, right? So you don't have to bother about purity, it really doesn't matter. Now, chemistry itself, right? So what the fuck is in here? Okay, some of the tutorial. Okay, anyways, so I'll show you actually how to do chems shift start. So this is upgraded, but that doesn't matter. So you just get phenol, right? And then you just make 3 beacons like this. Now it kind of depends on shift population, right? On station population. So there's no need to bother with fucking factories for this, because it just wastes way too much time. Remember, everything I show you or do is, I mean, keeps kind of efficiency in mind, right? So what do you do now? You just put this to 20U if you want. I'm usually not ever bothered, but hey. Transfer 15 units, and then we can now make oxandrolone. Right, so you don't really have to bother about the efficiency, right? So you have just enough phenol for 2 full beakers of Oxa, well 90 units and 3 units of Sali and 108 units of Oxanderlone. And what you do then is just make a bunch of patches. Now this is something I actually did for 2 years straight and everybody knows me by it. So I just name them, right? Just an inside little gig, right? So voila, we just made 30 patches and 300 units of Salic. So what I do then is I just distribute them like that. Now I never mix the patches because chem bags only show 1. Now I can make this 8 units or whatever, right? Stronger patches, but this should be sufficient. Voila, and we got 18 units of Oxanderlone patches, I mean, right? Salicic are obviously the most important. So that's basically Salic. Now for plasma, somebody already ground up the sheet, but I've got 15 units. So a kill mix would basically just go like this. What am I doing? Okay, up, we need some phenol. Right, so that's Salic, and then we need some nitrogen, some ammonia. So this should actually work, but I just fucked it up, basically. Don't do all of that new chem, huh? Oh yeah, now I can't mix it. Didn't want to do this already, but okay. So anyways, lithium, and then we get some of that in. We've only got 15 units, normally you'd have 20 units of plasma. Well, hello there, plasma sheet. So that grinds up. So what have we got? I'll just wait for the beaker. So 60. So I've got 20. Hydrogen. So we've got Lexerin mates. Yet again, efficiency doesn't matter at all. So now we make some napalm. So this is a beaker of napalm and this is gonna be, what's it again? So now we have, what is that? So we just need to get the stabilizing agent out. So I don't know where that. Okay, yeah, okay. So, anyways, what do I do? Yeah, I'm actually really tired. So we've got Flock. What the hell is happening? Why am I making mistakes? What is this guy doing? All of these guys even LARPing it. What am I doing? Napalm, right? So, welding fuel, ethanol, welding fuel. So, your final beaker should go like this. this is done. Yeah, so to get this out. So yeah, that's why. So you can see that it's kind of doing fuck all, but hey, it doesn't, like, the efficiency doesn't matter at all. So what you do is you just get like, I don't know why I'm bothering with this, but you basically just do this. Put that in the wrong beaker. So here's your kill mix, and the way that this actually goes, this goes like this. I should have actually rolled a CMO, but whatever. Radium. Phosphorus, right? Yeah, and then some bromine. Voila, so we got some muta. All these colors, man. So we got our mutadone and we got our kill mix. Yeah, so what I usually do in these kind of cases is I get a box from Maint or something, right? You find these boxes laying around everywhere. Normally, from these sheets, if I'm not mistaken, you should be able to construct like a chemistry bag or something. In one way or another, like you can make... you should be able to make like a chemistry bag with it, but it's not there, so hey, what do I know? So anyways, you just get a box, drag it out, so you get an empty box, right? So just make a bunch of syringes, right? So you do have your chem mix. You should get like a 6th syringe, but hey, who cares? So as you can see, you get this dynamic where things both heat and cool at the same time. Normally speaking. You'll see this interaction where it basically cools on the first one and it heats on the second one. Because it's an exothermic reaction, it goes above the threshold and then cools down. But while it's doing that, it's also cooling down, so hey, no worries about it. And actually, this theoretically, I should be able to do this. Shouldn't actually be any kind of issue. This would be better, now that I think about it. But I just had issues on Terry playing, setting this up because of lag. Sometimes, even when I was absolutely certain of what I was doing, it would basically just lag and explode. Which was a massive pain. And this should actually be transferring. Okay. So anyways, what do I have now? We have our chem mix. Where is it? I already put it in. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually playing on a really tiny screen instead of like my usual setups with a really shitty mouse. So this is a big pain. Actually, is this music too loud? So anyways, we have our kill mix. Now I'm not gonna be able to get into Viro, am I? No, I do not. Can I termite it? No. Just wanted to get a monkey body or something, right? Which I'll be able to get at Psi. Or... yeah, perfect. So... it is actually already dead, so who cares? Okay. Yeah, I've actually never been on a server where, you know, there's a shift time of a fucking 1000. So anyways, to showcase this and to kind of do it a bit low. So to showcase how this works, and this is actually one of the most efficient mixes, right? Just my mutadone. So we have our patients. It's 100% healthy, and this is how the kill mix works. So and trust me, this is actually very quick damage. You also see that the burn damage catches up and does more. Now the guy should actually not be in crit yet. Well, he shouldn't have been in crit yet, right? But yeah, basically 100 is reached here and he dies. So what people usually do is they manage to do that, but I'll show you what happens with what people usually do, right? So it's a combat mix, right? So so what actually happens is, right, so the guy would ignite. Oh, normally they're supposed to reignite. But even if they think they're safe, remember they're suffocating, and that actually adds up very quickly as well. But actually not as fast as these guys are dropping down, because they should only go into crit on 100, right? Not on 73. And later on, don't forget, they've actually burned, so they're actually getting some burn damage. As you can see, even this guy. It might actually still be increasing due to the body heat, the way that body heat works nowadays, right? And wounds and shit. So, yeah. So, that's the kill mix, right? It actually kills in two ways, so burn and suffo, and that's actually great. Now, obviously, if you can be bothered, you can, you know, do more shit with it, but hey, I can't. So I'll show you how I do it and how other people think they're gonna do it. So yeah, you get a beaker and then you just press Z, right, to change the transfer amount. So we instantly pick up 100, right, and I would do it like this. Right, so I just fill up beakers. Now to showcase how you do grenades, so you can do anything, right? You just get your cables with Alt click. So I just get these, and I usually have some spare metal laying around. Actually, I always do so, because I took the second plumber, but somebody else took it, so I don't have enough metal. So I'll just get some metal. Right. So you already see where we're going, right? So just palm clicking this a bit. Okay. God, this is such a shitty mouse. It's incredibly painful, actually. So, now we can just start filling it up. I don't know where my one beaker was that I used. Is it the 100 unit beaker? Yes, it is. So that's actually how I do it now, but what's supposed to happen is that you actually do that. So what you do is you just put a bunch of beakers here and then they automatically get filled. But that's actually not what happens, and where the so somehow 1 unit of nitrous came, and that's actually not what's supposed to happen. So yeah, normally these are supposed to fill, so you could drop like 10, 10, 10, right? Or just on one pile and just spam click them a bit like this, right? But as you can see, it's kind of bugged a bit, and it's actually not even filling, as you can see. So these are all actually supposed to fill, and they recently, that mechanic kind of broke. I even thought it was an unintended mechanic, but hey, what do I know? But it's broken now either way, so whatever. So back again, you're going back to this method. Of filling them up. This is actually the fastest in my opinion that you can do it. Right. So we just do it calm and collected. Anyways, so we made a bunch of nitrous and now comes the filling up part. So remember, these are actually 200 units grenades, right? Not 240 units grenades. Which you can actually do by plastic sheets. I mean the extra large grenades, right? So I'm only showcasing a thing, so I don't want to make much grenades. I actually don't know what the policy is in regards to Campbell, because it's like MRP, right? Oh yeah, it's medium roleplay, I never even figured. So I remember the interactions with grenades, so a screwdriver changes the timer from 5 to 3, I always set everything to 3. Wire cutters do this, so they open and they basically unsecure it, and then with a wrench, once it's opened, you can get beakers out again. Right, so I just remove the beakers. You just remove the payload. What you can also do, yeah, I'm just gonna, let me just finish this up, dude. What do I want to say? So yeah, actually it's a medium roleplay, so I'm actually gonna follow server rules here and just blow this up in space. Just get space set up from somewhere. So yeah, what was I thinking about? Yeah, okay. Right, Delta. I mean, the way that I do is basically shift start, I set up a factory, right? It can literally be any kind of factory. You can do met, well, I used to be able to do met in like 5 minutes. I used to do these in 3 minutes, and then met in 5 or 6, and then TATP in 10, but that's kind of pointless. So anyways, we did our job, made a bunch of nades, so I'm now gonna show you how nades work. So you can also attach things, right, like mouse traps, like timers. Actually, one of the dirtiest things you can do is, and yes, I did die to that once. Just to get a mask. So you can set the timers to 0 or 1 second. You can actually attach them to. Oh, hello there. Yeah, it needs to be in your hand, but you can basically attach them to the wire. And if somebody tries to use a nade, they insta-explode. You can also add mouse traps, which are literally the most disgusting thing you can imagine. And also the funniest thing, right? So, just a gas mask. Drop this, and now. Okay. Of course, there's no exit on this shuttle, as I thought. I could termite out, but hey. So I'll do this in arrivals real quick. Man, look at this out. I mean, look, it's really cute, it's really cool, right? But I mean, such a thing as role-playing a bit too much, you know. But yeah, who am I to say anything, right? Coming from Terry. So, anyways, so to showcase how nades work. No, this is obviously cooler in a normal round, but I'm gonna, you know. Or actually, I can just blow this up, right? So, what I mean is that you can kind of just connect nades, like. It's not gonna float away, is it, right? So place 3 nades here, and now I'm gonna nade this spot, and as you can see, everything exploded, right? Okay, I'm just gonna fix this up. Actually, wonder why. Oh yeah, just this first part. So, okay. So what I meant to showcase was that all of these grenades have kind of a chain reaction range, right? So you don't have to bother with making one big explosion. No, you just make a lot of chems and just spam it like I did with a factory. So it's actually way better to make a bunch of nades and just spam throw them, or even better, you're just running and you're just dropping them on the ground, right, while you're running. A bit like that. Now these grenades actually hard stun. They 3x3 hard stun. No, yeah, they do. Sorry, they 3x3 hard stun. So the idea is basically that if you throw a grenade and you throw it closer to an enemy than you throw it to you yourself, then you pretty much always win a fight. So people actually have resistances against everything, right? So you have all these resistances. Now, bomb resistance is actually extremely rare, and when it's present, it's not that strong. But either way, it doesn't matter anything at all, because the first grenade will just hard stun you, and then the second grenade will just gip you. So remember, right, we're dealing in volume here and not in quantity over quality. Now, I usually don't make the extra large ones because they're too lethal. Remember, I actually use these as, for self-defense. Yeah, I mean, it sucks extremely hard actually showing this in case. So if I stand here, this should throw me out, and I am basically hard. So it's a light stun. Do I have one grenade left? So let's see. If I stand just here, this should already do that, right? But this is a hard stun. You see, I still can't stand up. I mean, to me, this is a hard stun, basically, right? So that was about, what, 10 seconds until I could stand up again? So that's basically the point, right? Anyways, I'm not gonna turn sensors off because I'm suiciding anyways. And remember, what you do with these grenades is that you basically cook them, right? So you prime them, and then you just mentally kind of count, and you throw them. You throw them when there's like 1 second left. Now, do beware of lag. You actually died plenty of times not being able to throw these because of lag or with the throw being a bit buggy. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, that's basically that. So what I'll show you to recap basically how you actually make Salic and Oxa. You don't need to make factories for that, and then I showed you how to make a nitrous oxide factory. And it's fast, right? If you do this kind of in a prepared fashion with like, you know, you could use like a notepad thing with always on top. So you can quickly copy and paste the words into the reactors and shit. You can do it in 4 minutes or something, and then you just leave it running for a few minutes, right? Because it actually it requires time to make the chem, right? But and then you come back a few minutes later, you make your grenades. I usually just run around with like, you know, at least 2 of them or something. And yeah, that's it. Remember, a first nade will hard stun or even gip if you aim properly and the target really has no defense. But remember, this goes through a lot of protection, right? So this actually gips fucking nuke ops. This it's actually extremely robust. It's actually one of the nastiest combat tricks, the most effective combat tricks, because there's literally no defense against it. You just have to throw it somewhat adjacent to the enemy, and you can't really mistime it, so yeah. Yeah, well. So, that's that. So, last thing to show you. So it looks like this. So you get the 3 ingredients, then you get your mixing chambers with these quantities. Now I saw somebody try to improve my recipe here, my design, by making a second one for ammonia, or making like an extra nitrogen synthesizer. You can do all of that. The 2 heaters. Now theoretically, you should be able to put this way higher, so everything goes faster, but due to lag on Terry, this kind of fucks up and it's not static. So either there's variances in the reaction, or either it fucks up due to lag. Yet another thing which shouldn't happen, but yeah. So these are filled up. So as you can see, this actually, as everything has the same quantities, this kind of, you know, keeps the same volume, right? I mean the same heat and so on. So a final thing, let's chem scan if this works. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So you actually see some. Okay, this is actually interesting, right? So not certain, right? This guy died a bit faster. I did 2 different things with. Oh yeah, I shot one guy twice or something. So on one guy everything metabolized, and on the other it didn't. Yeah, I mean damage right now doesn't really matter, but okay, yeah, so actually they should have both died from suffocation and burn damage. I mean, 7.5 units of Lexrin should be enough to kill by so 0.4 per tick, so you have 19 ticks, you have 18 ticks actually, 18.5 ticks, so... Did they change this? Because honestly, 18 ticks? Oh yeah, no, it kills either way because it stops respiration, and these guys, they stopped breathing because it died faster due to the burn damage, but as Lexrin also stops breathing, you get additional suffocation damage, right? So no, it's lethal. Don't worry about it. And it's really overlooked easily because by the flames, and people actually confuse it by the flames. So Lexrin's entirely it's easily missable, right? Although a counter isn't that hard, right? You just epinephrine yourself and you just extinguish yourself and you ought to be good. But actually it really works because nobody kind of figures Elixir out, and even if they do, well, the flames are still, you know, really deadly and shit. It's kind of like when somebody just shoots you with like a fucking chloral hydrate syringe somewhere, right? You literally know you will be dead unless you somehow make it to this multiver bottle or, you know, this fridge with a multiver in it, or somehow, you know, toxin treatment kits. I mean, yo. Um, Jesus, man, look at this autism. 9 hours. I guess engineering is gonna be the most impressive, right? Oh yeah, we're on Delta, so... So what did they do? I mean, I'm kind of imagining like entirely remade apartments or something, you know. But seems like they didn't put in that much effort, so I don't know. HFR. And yeah, so that's basically it. What I should also check, but it's easier to actually do that on like an own hosted server with a debug chem dispenser and so on, is to just check whether Gibbs syringes are still makeable because yeah, I'll